2020, and this is Livetalk, Diaspora Forum. I'm UJonga Kandemiiri.
And I'm Dube.
Tonight on Livetalk, Diaspora Forum, we are continuing to look at the coronavirus pandemic and what Zimbabweans in the diaspora are doing to help find the pandemic back home. But please note that this is a pre-recorded show due to the coronavirus pandemic. Livetalk goes out to Zimbabwe on our 909 medium wave frequency and on 4930 and 15460 kHz shortwave Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Gibbs Dube, today we are discussing about the pandemic, the coronavirus pandemic.
Yes, Jonga. So it seems as if globally there are roughly about 874,081 cases. And then in terms of deaths, Jonga, there are roughly about 43,291. We are seeing a lot of carnage in Italy and then in other countries. Then in USA, a total number of 186 and 14 people have actually contracted coronavirus COVID-19. Out of these, 3,852 have died so far. And then back in Zimbabwe, we know that there are still 8 cases, and out of these 8 cases, only 1 person has died. We know that Zororo Makamba died about 2 weeks ago, and he was admitted at Wilkins Hospital, and there were issues. The family wasn't happy at all. They were saying that the facilities are very, very bad. So Jonga, kwenye ngazanike kuyahlupa ngaso siya khona ngale kwele Zimbabwe. Siyabona ukuthi kule lockdown le 21 days lamhla ilanga lesithathu abantu sibili bathi kuzima ukuthi bahlale endlini ngoba kumele bebhodabhode bedinga impuphu bedinge lokunye okutshiyeneyo. Then ke ku diaspora ngapha ke abantu bathi labo bahlezi ezindlini bakhona abaseLondon khona ngale kube khona abanye ke abasendaweni ezitshiyeneyo Jonga. So khanya ngazani ke abantu bahlulukele ngomkhuhlane lo 21 days endaweni eziningi aso sikhathi sokudlala mfowethu.
Yes, Gibbs, and also remember that many Zimbabweans in the diaspora are doing everything they could to make sure that the people back home are protected from the pandemic. And these include donating money, sourcing for protective clothing or protective gear, medical equipment, and even volunteering their services to help make sure that Zimbabwe is safe from the pandemic.
Yes, I think we've got our first guest. We can introduce the guest, Jonga.
Yes, we have Mr. Freeman Chari. He is not new to many Zimbabweans. Mr. Chari has been instrumental in making sure that Zimbabweans in the diaspora and those back home help each other. We also remember him for pioneering the funding or the sourcing of funds for Cyclone Idai. And today he is one of those people in the diaspora who are also fighting the pandemic, the spread of the pandemic, by sourcing money in the United States of America, Britain, Australia, wherever Zimbabweans are who are able to donate to the cause. Welcome to our show, Mr. Chari.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Welcome. Gibbs, ndingotaurira vateereri vedu nerurimi rwaamai kuti nhasi tiri kukurukura nezvedambudziko rechirwere checoronavirus. Tiri kuona kuti chirwere ichi chabata pasi rose kusanganisira neZimbabwe. KuZimbabwe vanhu vasere vabatwa nacho chirwere ichochi. Pavasere ipapo mumwe chete akashaya, Zororo Makamba. Tine urombo kumureye kwaMakamba nemhuri yeZimbabwe kurasikirwa nemumwe wedu. Tiri kuonawo kuti pasi rose tikatarisa masangano akaita sana Johns Hopkins vanobuditsawo vachizivisa kuti uwandu hwakamira sei, nana Worldometer vanobuditsawo uwandu kuti hwakamira sei. Nhasi tinoona kunge vanhu vadarika 885,000 vafa nechirwere ichochi. Vabatwa nechirwere ichochi 885,220 vanonzi ndo vabatwa nechirwere ichochi kusvika pari zvino. Kuchiti vafa vakudarika 44,000. Kuratidza kuti uwandu hwakawanda kwazvo zviuru 40 vanhu vafa nechirwere ichochi. Tiri kunzwa vamwe vari kutumirawo tumashoko kumaWhatsApp nemamwe madandemutande kumusha uko. Hanzi vamwe havasati vava kunyatsotora dambudziko iri zvakanyanyokosha, kana kuti some people are not yet seeing it as a pandemic. They are just not taking it seriously. And I think that's a cause for concern, Gibbs.
Yes, it's a cause for concern, really, Jonga. But we are seeing that there are so many people that are doing some philanthropic work, and one of them is Mr. Freeman Chari. And we also have uEzra Sibanda. We work with him, but he's doing something that he says is going to benefit the community. So uEzra Sibanda udinga imali yokuthi ke kulungiswe i-thorn groove khona ngale ke kwele Zimbabwe. Kuzobuya ke umnumzana uFreeman Chari ukhanya laye uzama ukuthi ancede ukuthi kulungiswe phela kuthiwa ama-gloves kudinga lapho konke okutshiyeneyo. So ngambuza ke umbuzo wokuqala Jonga umbuzeke ba.
Yes. Mr. Chari, maybe you can start by telling us how much you have raised so far for the cause.
Yeah, so in the past week, we have raised about 27,000 United States dollars from, on the GoFundMe. We have also now raised about 28,000 Zimbabwean bond dollars, ZWL dollars, back home. That is being contributed via EcoCash. So we have seen people donating on EcoCash and also on GoFundMe.
So
go ahead, Gibbs. Yes, go ahead.
How much are you aiming at? How much you want to raise?
So the goal is a moving target. That's the truth. Right now, we are saying the goal is 50,000, but then everything is dependent upon the response that we get, because we know right now that what is needed is more than $50,000.
Go ahead, Jonga.
Makasvika sei pakutora danho iri vachari rekuti munge muchiunganidza mari yekubatsira vanhu vari kuwirwa nedambudziko kana kudzivirira dambudziko recoronavirus?
Yeah, saka isusu zvakaiti kana zvokuti takambobatsira kumashure tichibatsira zvecyclone, tikabatsira pakambodzingwa madhokita paya, tikamboenda nemakliniki tichinobatsira kunana Binga Bulawayo kwese. Saka zvino tasvika panguva iyi takangoona zvakangokodzera zvekare kuti hatingagari vanhu vangafa, saka takangoti ngatichingokondi nyaya tongobatanidza zvatinongoita konde ihumwe.
Saka pari zvino maunganidza mari yakawanda zvakadii?
muma-US dollars taunganidza 27,000. Dai nyatsogona ndaitaura kuti zvinhu zvingani panonetsa. Saka 27,000 US dollars kuGoFundMe. MuZimbabwe taunganidza paEcoCash inosvika ndichitarisa yanga yakuma 28,000. Saka ari maZimbabwean dollars.
Saka toti muma-US dollar maunganidza zviuru 20 zvemari yekuAmerica US dollars. Kuchitiwa kuZimbabwe nemari yekuZimbabwe maunganidza zviuru 20 zveZimbabwe dollar. Imari yakawanda. Muri kutarisira kuunganidza mari yakawanda zvakadii?
Isu tinotarisira kuunganidza $50,000 dollars. Asi mari iyo hapasipo patiri kuda kugumira. Tiri kungoti tikakwanisa vanhu vakakwanisa kubatanidza mari dzavo, tikasvika ipapo tinoramba tichingokwidza nokuti zvinodiwa zvakawanda chaizvo.
Mr. Freeman Chari is explaining, just like what he did in English, that they are aiming to raise $50,000, and so far they've raised 27,000 US dollars and 28,000 Zimbabwe dollars. That's a big amount of money in maybe, I think it's less than a week now that you have managed to raise that much. Thank you so much, Mr. Chari. Gibbs.
And Mr. Chari, looking at issues to do with money, people are usually skeptical of making some donations. So how do you tell them that that money won't be stolen?
Yeah, so what we have done is over the past operations that we have done, we were trying to be very transparent in all our projects. That is, we tell people how much that has been raised, and then we show them what has been bought, the receipts, and we have also had even audited accounts before. So everything that we do is transparent. It is traceable. Anybody is open to inspect what we have done. They can, they can even call the people that have made the purchases, and everything is on their own. It's out there.
Okay, we understand that. So at the end of the day, who handles the money from here to Zimbabwe, and how are they going to use it effectively?
So right now we are formalizing the Citizens Initiative, which is a board. This board has people in Zimbabwe. You know, Mr. Wellington Mahoma is a member of the board. He's in Zimbabwe right now doing the needs assessment. We know here we have other people. We have other people in UK like Dr. Alex Magaisa and Mrs. Chenai Mutambasere. You know, and some another person is in Bermuda. So we are distributed. Which means we also have everybody has access to see what is happening, and we account to each other.
Yes, Tonga.
Yes, Gibbs Dube. Tinoonawo nedzimwe nguva vana veZimbabwe vakawanda vari kunze kwenyika vanonga vaine chido chekuunganidza mari, asi vamwe vanenge vasingazivi kuti zvinoita sei kana kuti zvinotangwa sei. Many Zimbabweans in the diaspora may want to start raising contributions to send back home, but they don't know how to start the ball rolling. Maybe Mr. Chari, you can explain it to some of the Zimbabweans in the diaspora who may also want to take the same course as yours.
Yes. So the first thing that I want to tell people is that you know, the work is huge, but the workers are few. So wherever you are, if you have an opportunity to find even minimal amount of resources, just do it. You can, you know, you can do it on GoFundMe. That's a good platform. You know, you can also do it on other platforms. I know there are other also crowdfunding platforms. Also, there are people who have access at their workplaces or in their communities and at churches. We have somebody who has donated $1,000, who asked their church to donate $1,000 to us, and the church did just that. We also have, for example, people in DC, in Washington, DC, who, when we were doing Cyclone Idai, they just had, I don't know whether it was a tea party or something, and then they raised some money there, which then they forwarded to us. So I would say the work is a lot, and if people can raise it, raise the money wherever they are, even if they want to ask us to execute on their behalf, or even themselves executing on their, you know, for themselves, I think they should just take the initiative and run with it.
Yes, I think, Tonga, we are joined by another guest, and that is Mr. uEzra Sibanda. We call him Mr. today because he's doing a lot of philanthropic work, but journalists are normally referred by their first and second names. So, because they are always the writers. So, Baba Chisa, siyamukela kuhle.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu Dube, ngiyabonga Tonga, kunjani?
We also have Mr. Freeman Chari. He's one of the guys in the diaspora who are helping a lot back home. He's also on the show. You can talk to him.
Yeah, so let's pose a question to you, Mr. Sibanda. So what are you doing to help Zimbabwe, you know, under this coronavirus crisis?
As you know, from the word-go, the Parliamentary Committee on Health visited Bulawayo and identified Mpilo as not Mpilo, Tonprov Hospital, as the hospital which is cancelled by the government to deal with the coronavirus COVID-19. The outcome of that meeting, of that tour, they discovered that there were only 17 beds in that Tonprov Hospital, and again, there was nothing. The people were not ready. They were not testing kits. What they said, the hospital manager, the person dealing with coronavirus in Bulawayo, Dr. Nyati, said that they don't have testing kits in Bulawayo. What they do is they take samples. Samples are then sent to Harare, and then the results are referred back to Bulawayo. They are taken overnight by SWIFT. Then we said that can't be, especially in the 21st century. So we decided to raise money to buy the testing kits for Tonprov Hospital, specifically for Tonprov. My brother Chari there is doing for the whole country, but ourselves we say this is an emergency because we can't say the hospital which covers Masvingo, Midlands, Material South and North, plus Bulawayo, Tonprov, to refer all the samples to Harare for testing and then returning to Bulawayo.
So ke nxa sikhangela ke libona ukuthi lifuna ukuthi lireze imalini njalo okwamanje selithola imali enganani?
bese sifuna ukuraise imali engange 20,000 pounds, which is 22,000 US dollars. Ngoba sasikhangela ukuthi izathenga into nganani ngoba i-World Health Organization labasebenza labo bethe bengafaka imali bazafaka i-10,000 ibe yi-28,000. I-28,000 iyathenga ama-testing kit afika 10,000. Iyathetha ama-testing kits afika 10,000. Kathesi kusikhala nje ebantwini ukuthi asizenzeleni singameleli uhulumende.
Yeah, there you are, Jonga. He's saying that he's trying to raise money for Thorngrove Hospital in Bulawayo. So Thorngrove is an isolation hospital. It has been there since the 1960s or 70s. So it's a very small hospital which is located in the western suburbs of Bulawayo. So unjalo ke bafowethu siyezwa lapho ezochisa Sibanda ekhuluma ngeproject ayenzayo kona manje uyenza labanye abantu abaningi lapha benzela ukuthi ke badingele imali isibhedlela lesi ukwenza ukuthi ke kulungiswe kokuhluphayo khona ngale esibhedlela ngoba i-parliamentary committee yakhuluma ukuthi ngani kuyaxeka khona ngale ke koBulawayo nxa zokhangele iThorngrove ukuthi ungahambisa abantu bele COVID-19 khona ngale kwenzakala ukuthi bonke babhubhe endaweni naleyo. So ke kunjalo Jonga.
Ndizvo ndoda kubvunza kuna vaSibanda kuti munotarisira kunge mari yaenda rini kuBulawayo kuti itange kubatsira kuThorngrove?
Parizvi tatononoka chaizvo because zvacho azvisati zvaitika. Vari kutaura kuti vanhu vanobva kuMpilo hospital kana vane masymptoms vanongotora kuti endai kuThorngrove hospital for testing. Saka Thorngrove hospital, they don't even have protective clothes, they don't have testing machines. Saka mari yacho yaifana kuenda kana nezuro chaiyo. Saka tototsvaga mari tomhanya nekuti tikatenga then masamples acho haasi kuenda kuHarare vanobva vatesta ipapo. Parizvino vanototora masamples kune vanhu vashoma voendesa kuHarare for testing. Luckily hakusati kwaita munhu akaita positive vanhu vatestwa kuThorngrove.
And do you have some experts who will be at Thorngrove if the government has not yet commissioned someone to test? I mean, to test the virus there. Will you second someone to do that, or you have to request the government to send someone to do that once the test kits are delivered?
No, the doctors are there, but they can't test. Like I said, they just take samples. What they are there because they don't have the testing kits. They only take samples. Those are qualified doctors. And then the person heading the the coordinator of COVID-19 in Bulawayo is dealing with that. So what happens is that they take the samples and then send to Harare because there's no testing kits. If testing kits were there, they would have done there in Bulawayo, right? There and give people results after 24 hours.
Thank you so much, Gibbs.
Now, coming back to Mr. Chari. So, Mr. Chari, you have been doing all this over the years. Do you think that this is worth doing in terms of crises like this? And in terms of maybe good and bad times? Let's put it that way.
You know what? I just want to... Can I just comment on... Because I just heard my brother Ezra talking about Thorngrove.
Yes.
I don't know if I should probably comment on that. I really want to comment on that because, you know, we were at Thorngrove. We inspected Thorngrove about 2 days ago. And that place is, you know, we met the town clerk and the director of health.
Mm-hmm.
That place, there's nothing. That's the truth. There's nothing at Thorngrove. They are trying to create an isolation ward, but they don't even have beds. The beds that they have right now, they have rust because of all the chemicals that we keep using to disinfect and all. So they have rust. So there is so much need at Thorngrove right now, to the extent that for me, at a personal level, you know, we were saying, okay, our intention initially was just to deal with protecting our workers, that is the healthcare workers, buying PPEs and all. But then when you look at a place like Thorngrove and realize that there are extreme infrastructural and then equipment needs and then human resources needs, PPEs become, you know, a tertiary thing, right? So about your question that you just asked me right now.
Yes,
we have to do something, but to be honest, the extent of the dilapidation in the country is just too much. It's just too much that, you know, as a citizen, sometimes you get overwhelmed. Like, where do you start? Even if we wanted to help with just gloves and masks, but now we have to think about infrastructure. You know, Ezra was talking about the testing. Let me be frank, because I'm a medical scientist. I'm a medical lab scientist. I do those things. Zimbabwe cannot test for COVID-19 extensively because everything is being done at the National Reference Lab in Harare. And they have one machine, and they don't have the PCR reagents that are needed. That's why they've only done 218 tests the whole country. So even if my brother Ezra is going to buy because I believe what he's trying to buy are rapid test kits which detect whether somebody has been infected and have produced antibodies. That would be too late. The PCR test is the one that detects the virus on day 1, day 2, day 3. So, you know, the rapid test we will be late, but that's the minimum we can do at this point.
Yes, we can hear you. Baba Chisa, uEzra lapho uyakhuluma umnumzana uthi ina vele lifuna ukuthengana exactly because ithi linceda abantu ukuthi betest masinya.
Like Chari has done a fantastic work as a qualified somebody. He knows better than me. But what I'm saying is, like he's saying, it is rapid just to help people to discover that they got those viruses. Maybe then they seek treatment. Unlike just someone to be guessing, is this person having infection or not? So those testing kits will determine and actually help people actually to discover if they are really infected or not. So this is what it was recommended, the testing kits and the names of the kits which were given to buy.
Jonga, you can come in.
Yes, I wanted to ask Mr. Chari about this. Unfortunately, we don't have someone from the authorities or from the Ministry of Health to respond to that, whether they don't have the equipment or the know-how. But what I would ask Mr. Chari is, what can he suggest? Because before all this, Zimbabwe used to send samples to South Africa. And now that they have their own testing center, what can he recommend?
So I've been hitting the doors and trying to break some about this. You see, so the lockdown itself is a very good thing. I support that. But the lockdown cannot operate in isolation. The lockdown should have a protocol as to if you feel that you have some symptoms, where do you report to? And when you even call a number, what do? They have ambulances to come and pick people and take them to a place where they can be isolated? And when those people are isolated, isolation means you stay by yourself. You can't take people who think that they are COVID-19 and then you mix them with everybody else. They start spreading. So when you stay by yourself, then you can then be tested where you are and see whether you are positive for COVID or not. If not, then they can start looking at some other disease that you have. Or if you are, if you are negative, they can start looking for something else. If you are positive, then they can start trying to manage that COVID-19 disease, right? So the challenge right now in our country is that we are locked down in the houses. And if you get sick, you don't know what to do. And, we live 15 people, 12 people in one house. So if I am positive in the house, everybody else is probably going to test positive. And then what? Probably will die, all of us. So we just pray that no one is positive in the house.
Maybe I can go to Mr. Sibanda. Okay, yeah. Go on.
No, I wanted to ask a question from Chari. The South African government is saying now they'll be testing people from their houses. What are they using? Because if those things have to be taken to the lab, what will they be doing when they're saying they'll be going around the townships and testing people?
Can you say, you said they are testing people in their houses?
Yes, that's what he's saying.
They'll go to that's what they're saying. The government of South Africa is saying they are arranging for people to be tested from their own houses. So if you're saying that these things need to go to the laboratory, so what are they testing there? Are they taking samples or what are they doing?
Okay, so no, so I can explain this. Let's go back to HIV. So with HIV, you go and you are tested, and they say you are HIV positive. What it means sometimes is, or sometimes this. So when you are infected by a virus like COVID-19, your body reacts. And then when it reacts, it produces the soldiers, the IgM and IgGs. Those start appearing on day 4, 5, up to day 14, or sometimes, all the way. So when they now come with those rapid tests, they are not detecting the virus. They are now detecting whether you have responded to a virus, which means it could be late. It could be extremely late. Maybe you have already distributed, you have already sneezed on other people and everybody else is now ill. But that's what they are doing right now. That's what they are doing. So detection of the antibodies, is what they are probably trying to do. And I understand now they have about 3,000 test kits that have come into the country, but it's too late. It's something that can be done. But okay.
Mr. Chari, to cut you short on that,
yes.
Don't you think that it's also a welcome development that if they detect that someone, it may be too late, but at least they detect that this person is infected and then they take measures from there?
Okay, this becomes a huge lecture. It's okay as a citizen, I would say, okay, let's appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
But as a professional, I would say I don't want to freak people, right? When you detect this at that end, it means that probably you have already reached a point where somebody has already had complications, right? Maybe the lungs have already been, they've already crystallized. That is, if you do it maybe day 8, 9, 10. So if we are able to manage people after that, okay, fine. But can we? So
yes.
Let's just appreciate that they're trying to do something.
Yes, siyabuzwa kakhulu ke Baba Chari. Sicela ubambe khonapho ngayikatshana. So Mr. Chari is a scientist, right?
Yes.
So now what people can do is send your questions. It's going to respond, on this aspect of the coronavirus, COVID-19, and how people gather maybe, the samples from me as a citizen and from maybe Jonga. And the first question could be, how do you actually gather that kind of that you want from me so that you can test? What are you testing?
Okay.
Class or something?
Okay, so there are two things. So the first thing is when we say, so the test that they are doing in Harare, the one I said PCR, the real-time PCR test, the one that they are doing, the most expensive one, what they do is they take a swab, a nasopharyngeal swab through your nose, right? And then if you have the virus itself, it will be on that swab. So they take it to the lab and they you go through that, you mix it, you do whatever stuff, you extract the DNA, that is the genetic, actually is the RNA or the genetic material of the virus itself. You amplify it, which means you multiply it so that you can detect it. So what you are detecting is the virus itself. Now, with the other test, which is the antibody test, the rapid test, what you are doing is you are detecting so when the virus infects a person, your body mounts a reaction. The first thing that it does is it produces what is called the IgM antibodies. Then later on when it starts fighting, it produces what is called the IgG antibodies. That takes from 4 to 12 days to happen. So now you will then get your blood, and like a small sample of your blood, we can then detect whether you have those antibodies. So those are two different tests. One is to detect the virus, the other is to detect whether you have responded to a virus.
And there's loGibbs. The name is Giva Nazwe. So she writes they need an antigen antibody test.
Yes.
And then she goes further to say at work they are saying if someone has antibodies, they are safe to come to work. What does that mean?
No. Okay, there are two things. When somebody has antibodies, it means your body has responded and has fought or is fighting the disease. It doesn't mean that you are healed. So these antibodies, they can exist for a longer time. So after day 14, 15, day 20, you still have these antibodies. So even if I test you and you have never had symptoms there, if I test you and you have been infected before, but your body managed to fight it, you still test positive. That's why maybe she is saying you are safe to come to work. You're only safe after the incubation period and you are no longer having any symptoms, and they are sure that you are no longer infectious, but you still test positive even after that, even 30 days or 40 days after.
Jonga?
Before I go to Mr. Sibanda, I wanted to ask Mr. Chari. We have had some people or some numbers of people being said they've recovered from this coronavirus or COVID-19. Are they being administered some medication or what? Because we understand there is no medication yet. Well, how are they recovering from this?
Was that question to me?
Yes, I'm just asking for people to understand, because I'm one of those people who are failing to understand how these people are recovering. Are they getting any medication, or it's just recovering after the virus expires, or what happens?
Okay, so this virus is more let's look at flu itself. Sometimes with flu, flu virus, there's no medicine for that, right? There are vaccines, but there's no medicine. You can't say that I have flu, so I'm going there to they will treat it. No, they just wait for your body to fight the virus. So if your body is capable of fighting the virus and then clears it up, so your antibodies, the ones we were talking about, the antibodies are the soldiers in your blood. When those are produced and then they go target the virus and destroy the outer coat of the virus now fails to do its job, that is to attach to your own cells and then make your cells start producing the virus. So the virus is cleared out of your bloodstream by the antibodies. Now the problem, that the reason why you've heard this, the experts say the people who are dying more are those with immunosuppression, or those who don't have good health or have underlying diseases, is because the body now is overwhelmed and it's unable to fight the virus. So people really recover, because normally a person who has no other disease, underlying disease, normally they can mount this response and then clear that virus out. But now we are seeing that some people are just dying even if they don't have any underlying disease.
Thank you so much, Chari. Ndichazokupa imvunzo iyoyo nechizezuru muzotsanangurirawo vamwe, nokuti ndiri kuona vakawanda vari kutumira mibvunzo yakanangana izvozvo, kuti tiri kunzwa kuti vanhu vapona, kune mishonga here. Tomboenda kuna vaSibanda tinzwe. Gibbs.
Baba Sibanda lokupona kona becimwe. Akutsho Sibanda ukuthi linangwenu sibili nxa lidinga imali lisenza konke lokhu. Ubona ngazani kunceda kanganani abantu khona?
Kuyasizana into embi yokuhlala simelele uhulumende ukuthi uzasenzela soze sabasana nawo. Eqhathekile ukuthi njengabantu ababebona njengokutshelile uCharity Stone-Bullish ukuthi Stone-Bullish ayikobulawayo. Ibulawayo labantwana elama-citizens nama-residents. Xa ukwazi ukuthi udaba olwanuhlubulo kule ndawo endlalwa kini, uhlele emazweni atshiyeneyo, ungasiza nakuparticipate uhlala ukhala so uqathele ukuthi thina sithathele izinto lezi sizenzeleni sodwa nxa sikhuluma ebantwini sithi khumbula lapho vela khona khumbula ekhaya ngoba ke lawo lehlobo lo lehlobo lawo nje loJonga khonapho lo nawe Dube ulehlobo ekhaya.
Kunjalo. So ke sicela ukuthi ufake ngesikhiwo ukuthi why do you think it's necessary for you to fundraise for this purpose?
Yeah, it is important for everyone to fundraise for this purpose. Because one thing, we always cry for the government, the government should chip in, and we've seen that it's not happening. So when we neglect a hospital like Dube, which covers all those provinces, 5 provinces in Bulawayo, and then you are not doing any favor to people. Because we have to just stand up as a citizen, as residents of the city or Zimbabwe, and say, let's do it ourselves. Let's help our own people, our own communities. But your relative could be heavy, because I believe everyone in the diaspora has someone back home there who is called a relative.
Yes, yabonga khonapho ke Chisa. Sungangena khonapho ke mfowethu UJonga Kandemiiri.
Yes, there's one of our viewers on Gibbs Facebook. Thank you so much, Gibbs, for sharing this Facebook page of yours. One Ko Ephraim says, a great program. Thanks, Sekuru Jonga Kandemiiri and your great team. And he says, I can understand your frustration, Mr. Chari. We only have God to take care of us. He's listening, he's following us on Facebook page.
Yes, siyabona sibili abantu. Chari, can you respond? Because somebody is saying something there.
Yes, yes, I believe in God, but I also believe in the, the goodness of humankind and our, our innovation and ingenuity. I think there are things that we can do as citizens, even if we believe in God. There are things that we can do that will help us. Take this isolation, this lockdown seriously. And if you are in a house that has got, room, I would say, if you feel that you are having these symptoms, isolate yourself from others. You'll be doing good to even if it means staying in one room the whole day. Do that. You can protect your family. You can protect other people. So let's take that seriously.
Thank you so much.
Go ahead, Jonga.
Yes, Mr. Sibanda.
Usibanda mbona zani mana kancane. Usephendukile Usibanda na.
Yes, Vasibanda, tiri kuona kuZimbabwe vanhu vari kukurudzirwa kunzi vagare kudzimba pa 21 days mazuva 21. In Zimbabwe, the president announced that people should take heed of the 21-day lockdown. And surprisingly, many people decided to lock themselves down in their rural homes. They went to rural homes. Was that a good idea?
Definitely, it was a good idea. It was a good idea because
Sibanda, now ngizwa Sibanda. Kodwa ungabambi izinto khona kuzwakala sibili umsindo oku background lokunye ngabe kubambe izinto. So sicela ungakubambi konke lokho. Kume ndawonye ekwezisuzo kuhle. It
is important for people to self-isolate. Most of the people know how crowded it is in our towns, in our suburbs. So therefore, in the rural areas, it's hot, it's open space. So a lot of people believe that it is actually better because you won't mingle with so many people like the people you meet in towns. Because in towns, they are forced to go to a supermarket, and then you meet a lot of people. You're forced to go to town or to go in the streets of our suburbs, which is always overcrowded. Actually, it's better to be a rural home where there are only 3-5 members of your family.
But were they not exporting the virus in the event that some of them might have been affected?
That's where the problem is. That's the danger. It is because I believe that Zimbabwe delayed in doing this lockdown because they have to wait for something to happen before they act. If countries have done and reacted after what happened in China, we couldn't be seeing what we're seeing in America, Italy, UK. They will have controlled this thing. But the people delayed. It took them a long time. That's why there's a problem.
Thank you so much, Isman.
Yes, we see, Mr. Chari, we see that there have been some epidemics in the past. In the 1960s, there was one epidemic that was really horrible, and millions of people died. And then in subsequent years, there were also some epidemics. You still remember the avian flu and all those. You know, we still remember when we were growing up, our parents used to tell us about the influenza of the 50s or 60s. So now then came this other Asian flu and so forth. So there are some people who are saying maybe this one won't go to the extent of, you know, the one that killed millions. So maybe, but they're using the same strategies, isolation, and then you actually give some kind of orders to people on what to do, like social distancing and so forth. So how important are these previous epidemics in terms of addressing the current one?
Yeah, so I think the beauty of all this is that if you look at other countries, they learn from these epidemics. You see, look at how I'll give you DRC, for example, Congo. Look at how they responded to the current Ebola outbreak, the one that happened like in the past few months. It is so different from the one that happened in 2016, 2015, 2016. They have learned from that, from the 2015, 2016 experience, how to handle, Ebola. Now, it is my wish that in our country, in Zimbabwe, we also learn from these epidemics that, we don't have so many. We only have, I think the things that we really have in Zimbabwe are things like cholera and dysentery and so forth. Those are things that come out. But this is different. We have to learn from it. Let's learn from what is happening in Italy right now. If you think it's a joke, look at the United States, where I am right now. I've been in the house for 21 days, not going out. 21 days with my family, right? Now, if you look at it, about 3 weeks ago, President Trump was saying, yeah, we are good. We only have 15 cases. Look at where we are. This is just about 21 days or so. We are at 180,000 cases and about 3,000 or 4,000 people dead, right? So if we don't learn right now from what other people are doing right now, then God forbid, if this happens in Zimbabwe, we'll be wiped out. So let's learn from others and do it quickly.
Yes, let's bring in Chisa so that you can go to a place where we wanted to go. So, Baba Sibanda, ngamafutshane sicela ukuthi ke uphose lokugcina khonapho baba. Ungahambi kakhulu khona.
Okay, engakukhuluma kusho umfowethu ukuthi yebo kambe into leyenzakele kodwa ke eZimbabwe silomkhuba ohambela ngemuva inkosi ibona ngani siyenze i-copy and paste from what is happening in South Africa. I think uqathele ukuthi in our department, war ministry, and have intelligence, whether we healthy or whatever, where people will act, not to react on something. Because at the moment, for instance, we had to with the late Zororo, may his soul rest in peace. The people with the Zororo, the girlfriend, the family, and the other places where they went, we are not seeing anything happening. Because in another country, in one country, those people have been summoned or forced to be tested and isolated for some weeks. But at the moment, we don't even know those people what they are doing. They are going around infecting people in another all over.
Thank you so much, Jesus. Singazuthi uJonga nxa ufuna ukubuza umbuzo wokucina. Jonga.
Yes, before I throw my last question to Mr. Sibanda, I just want to update the viewers and listeners that according to Johns Hopkins, there are 887,067 confirmed cases and a total of 44,263 deaths the world over. That's a very big number.
It is really. So you can put the question now so that it goes.
Yes, maybe it's just a compliment to Mr. Sibanda for the job that he's doing. And Mr. Sibanda, maybe you are working with some of your colleagues. You may just want to tell us who these people are, and maybe we can also thank them here.
Okay, we're working. In fact, when I heard about Thornbull, we called Dr. Nyati, and then Dr. Nyati told us that the hospital falls under the city of Bulawayo, Bulawayo City Council. Then I called the mayor of Bulawayo, who said, please, if you can, try and help us. Then I organized a few people. There's a lady here in UK called Sisa, Senkosi, and then there's Kobomai.
Yeah, I think he got cut off.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
or maybe he's on a phone. Or yeah, it seems as if he went into a certain place where maybe the network is very bad. But anyway,
No
we heard what he was saying, and we'll just go into it full time. All what he was saying, Chuck.
Yes. Ndandichivabvunza vasibanda kuti vari kushanda nani, tanzwa vachitsanangura vamwe vanhu vari kushanda navo. And tiri kuonawo kuti chipatara cheJohns Hopkins chazivisa kuti kwane vanhu vanoita 887,067 vabatwa nechirwere ichi pasi rose, kuchiitawo vafa vanosvika 44,263 vafa pasi rose, zvekuti dzimwe nguva tichitaura kudai nhamba iyoyi inogona kunge yatokwira kudarika pane iyoyi yaburitswa neJohns Hopkins. Vachari tichiona uwandu huri kuitika nemamiriro ari kuita zvinhu tichitarisa zvikuru muno muAmerica, tiri kunzwa kuti uwandu hwevanhu vari kubatwa nechirwere ichi zuva nezuva huri kutokwira. Tiri kuona matunhu akawanda atora matanho ekuti vanhu vagare kudzimba. Idanho ramunoona rakatorwa nguva iripo here kana kuti rakanga ratononoka?
Ya, danho rokugarisa vanhu mudzimba idanho rakanaka chose. Chinongonetsa ndechekuziva kuti takakurumidza here kana kuti hatina. Nekuti nyaya ingoripo ndeyekuti kana takakurumidza zvakanaka fani, asi kana tisina, ndinogona kukupai kuti ngatiti takazoenda, nokuti hatisi kutesta vanhu, hatina kumbogara takwanisa kutesta vanhu vese vari kurakidza kuti vangangodaro vane covid vasina kumbosangana kana kuti vasina kumboenda kuDubai kana kuChina kana kupi. Aiwa, isi tiringoti tinoshandisa maWHO guidelines ekuti wakambosangana here nemunhu anorakidzika kuti akabva kunzvimbo idzi. Saka zviri kureva kuti mucommunity hatisi kutesta. Vanhu vanogona kunge chakagara chiripo, nokuti WHO guidelines haitauri zvokumaborder jumper, vanhu vanokurosa nekuchikombedzi kuenda South Africa vachidzoka vamwe vachidini. Zvino chifungai kuti kana taita lockdown, tine vanhu vanogara magariro atinoita mumataundi, munhu tinogara 315 muri 3 muimba 1, ngatiti mune munhu 1 ari positive, munhu 1 yeye kana mati haachabudimo, zvinoreva kuti vamwe 14 ava vanogona kutongoita chirwere ichocho varimo, nekuti hatisi kuziva. Saka kana takakurumidza zvakanaka, kana takanonoka nemukusagona kwedu kutesta, pachaita kugeda kwemeno, asi ndinongonamatira kuti ayo pamwe takakurumidza.
Yes, siyambonga kakhulu ke ubaba uChari. Silabantu ke jonga lapha basitumezela ama-audios abo abathi bacela ukuthi bekhulume labo nge-COVID-19. Omunye wabo nguMoven Qhelisa Ngwenya, ukhona ngale eDabuluka eLupani. Asizwe ukuthi uthini ngodaba lolu. Nango-ke uyangena enkundleni khona manje lethemba lokuthi abantu bazamuzwa. Kodwa ngwazani audio yakhe ibingani phansi. Kodwa kube khona abanye futhi njalo abasitumezela imilayezelo yabo, othi mbona umuntu omunye mbani. Silo baba uMadida, uMadida no umntanakhe. Umntaka kaMadida lapha ukhulume enye into. Ulalele ke jonga uthi bathini. Khona bayakhala ngesikolo namntwana.
Yes, maybe I can read some of the comments, Gibbs, on your Facebook. We have Stanley Kwenda. Stanley Kwenda is directing this question to Mr. Chari. He says, is there something people can do to help themselves in the absence of government help? Let's say I am in Mabuku and I get the symptoms and there's no help available. What should I do? Any DIY ideas?
To be honest, I don't want people to do DIYs. DIY means do it yourself. Yes, there are things that we can do to minimize, the symptoms, just like we do with flu, that sometimes, people take ginger, they take, what is it, garlic and all. But with this thing, the difference is that it does not really affect the upper respiratory tract. It goes deep into the lower respiratory tract, which is the alveoli, the linings, the epithelial that lines the lungs, right? So to me, there are things that I think prevention is better than cure. So the first thing that I would say, that if you suspect that probably you have the disease, first of all, isolate yourself from everybody and wear a mask, even a homemade mask. It works, it helps. Let me explain why. A homemade mask, because usually when you sneeze, you don't generally sneeze the virus itself. You sneeze the water bubbles, that is, all these fluids that have the virus, that are carrying the virus. So when you sneeze, they end up on the mask and you are protecting other people, right? So you are protecting your family. So if you suspect you have this disease, wear a mask, even a cloth, something that will make sure that you don't sneeze onto others. That's the first thing. Secondly, find a place where you can isolate yourself and and try to do whatever you can to lessen the pain. Take whatever meds you can to lessen the pain, even ibuprofen and so forth. But this disease it's not a death sentence. That's the other thing I wanted to say. It's not a death sentence. So don't freak out. Just try to isolate yourself until you are sure. After 14 days, 15 days, if you are, you might get better. If not, then try to call the authorities.
Yeah, Jonga, watching Zamege, seriously, utabani umhlaba, utabani umhlaba utumazele audio yake. Ngai chaya.
Sana basakazi nabalaleli bestudio 7 okhulumayo ngoThabani Mhlaba. Ngisegoli njengamanje kodwa ngihlala eMatopo. Mina msakazi ngisihlalele nje endlini. Namhlanje sidonsa 6 days lockdown. Sisihlalele nje msakazi ngibona la amasosha ngwenye indawo nje kuthiwa iseSoweto ngibona amasosha lokhu ezulazula phandle. So ngiyaxwayisa kakhulu ukuthi abafowethu kakhulukazi abaseZimbabwe ukuthi bengavami kakhulu ukuhamba phandle ngoba kuzasithilela ihlazo thina njengabantu bokufika mase kutholakala ama-foreigners kube yiwo ngokuthula ngoba ngiyabona phela abanye bayabotshwa la. So ngiyaxwayisa ukuthi abafowethu abahlale ezindlini. Mina ngisihlalele nje, ngisihlalele impela sengile 6 days ngisihlalele nje endlini ngiphuma nje ngisiya kumegedini ngibona abantu kuphela lokwenzeka phandle.
So that is Thabani. He's in South Africa. He says he has been under this lockdown for 6 days now. So he's encouraging all Zimbabweans not to just move around. They must respect the law. And he's saying that he was looking at the situation outside his window and he was seeing some soldiers patrolling in Soweto. So he's saying to all Zimbabweans, be safe. He's very concerned about his colleagues. Jonga?
Yes, ndomboenda kuna vachari. Vachari, tiri kuona muri kuita basa rakanaka kwazvo rekubatsira kuunganidza mari nezvikwanisiro kuti zvishandiswe kumusha. Mune nzvimbo here dzamuri kutara kuti rubatsiro rwenyu runofanira kuenda kudunhu iri nedunhu iri?
Chekutanga ndechekuti munongoona zvinoitika munyika yedu, zvizhinji zvacho zvinoitikira muHarare. Saka munoona kana iko zvino izvi vazhinji tinechingotaura Wilkins yatikudzwei mbichana zvakadai. Asi hakuna vazhinji vanobvunzawo kuti ko kuChipinge kwakambomira sei, ko kuBinga vakambomira sei. Maona isusu semaCitizens zvatinoedza kuita ndezvekuti hatikwanisi kubata munhu wese nekuti hatisi hurumende, hatina mari yacho, asi yatinenge tawana ndinogona kukuudzai kuti iko zvino izvi isusu takaenda kuBulawayo tikanotaura nameya natown clerk nadirector weku Thorngrove. Tabva ipapo takangopfuura nepampilo zvikanzi hatitorina kana chuno. Tikati semaCitizens regai tingofona tione tinogona kuwanirai here mamaski. Tikasiya vaso, I think vanonzwa ngwenya vaine mamaski, I think tangovasirawo 120. Tikati chimboshandisai mabatai makadai. Tichibva taenda kumasvingo kundoona kuti vakamira sei. Tikasvikako zvikanzi hatisati tatombotanga iko zvine zvinhu zviri kunetsa. Nhasi nezuro tatiri kuChipinge, nhasi kwaMutare. Tiri kungotenderera tichibvunza kuti titange tanzwisisa kuti vari kutombonzwisisawo here nezvechirwere ichi. Pane maplani aripo here? Kana aripo patinokwanisa kupindawo semaCitizens pavari kunetseka ndepapi tibatsire. Zvino zvinotinetsei iko zvinezvi nekuti zvinotodiwa zvacho zvakawandisa kudarika zvataifungidzira isu kuti taitongofunga kuti pamwe vana mukoti namadhokotera edu vanoda mamaski nehembe dzokupfeka dziya dzepamusoro. Takutozoona kuti zvinodiwa zvakawanda, saka tiri kungoti patabatawo tichabata zvotongoedzawo, patinenge tatadza asi tichabata kwakasiyana siyana.
Maybe I can just throw a question in English to Mr. Chari.
Yes.
I hear you are referring to yourself as we. Are you working as an organization?
Yes. So let me give a background of this. Initially, when we did Cyclone Idai, I just ran around as an individual looking for money, and then my brother Wellington Maoma in Zimbabwe was also coordinating people on the ground, and then we realized that there's so much that needs to be done, and citizens really want a conduit where they can also be useful. So after the citizen clinics, we said, let's formalize ourselves so that we don't get burned out. We also have other people that come in and also help. So we registered Citizens Initiative as a non-profit in the United States, in the state of Ohio. And we've also applied for 501c status in the United States. And we are also setting up, kind of like structures in Zimbabwe that will be executing our plans so that we don't just wait for emergencies. We are there on the ground. We now continue to do more and as an organization that involves more citizens. So there are a number of people. Like I said, the board itself that we have constituted is 9 people, or 9 Zimbabweans, who are in the board. That is, you have me. You have Mrs. Chenai Mutambasere in UK, Dr. Alex Magaisa in UK. We have Mr. Tawang Nare. He's in United States right now. Mr. Kapikinyu is in United States. We also have Mrs. Johnson. She's in Bermuda. We have Mrs. Sarah Moses. She's in Canada. I don't know if I've left somebody else. We also have our treasurer, Mrs. Miss Lorraine Takaruza. She's in New York. She does our finances. So you see, we just took the people that were supporting the initiatives, the people who have just been pumping resources, money, helping us fundraise and so forth, and just they're the people now that are running the board for the citizens.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chari.
Yes, yamuzwa kakhulu ke uChari. Kodwa siphinde futhi sibone lapha kulo baba uNdaba Dlamini ngabantu ke abathi bafuna ukuzwa bekhuluma khona lapha emsakazweni. Nangu limuzwe ukuthi uthini khona lapha.
Sanibona mina nguNdaba Dlamini. Hayi sihlele ezindlini nje lokho sijika nemthunzi yezindlu lapha elokishini. Lokho sijikeleza phela elokishini angasewolomisa. Hayi sikhangele khona lokho kubulalayo.
So this guy is in Olomisa area, so he's in South Africa. So there are so many people that want to join the show and actually hear themselves talking, but naturally these days we can't call them, so they are sending us audios. And the other one is Jabulani. Here is what he says. There is coming right now.
Yes.
So Manasimuzo futhi. Yeah, now.
Studio 7 basazenzi bestudio 7 ujabulani nkathalo enhloza amandla esiphisini ngobulawayo. Sihlezi akunzima and kuzokuba nzima ebantwini ngoba uthola abantu behlezi kanje bengahambi kunzima wena. Abantu asakujwayelanga ukuthola sihlezi njengami nje angisebenzi nje siphila ngokuthi nje space bambela abantu lokho abafuna sibenzele khona kodwa njengoba kuvaliwe nje yonke into kusho ukuthi hayi wonke umuntu nje hayi kuzima. Lathi nje especially abantu sisebenza sithemba abantu abayibo abavuka besiyasebenza uma bengavuki besiyasebenza uma yonke into hayi siyabonga kodwa hayi asikawuzwa umkhuhlane oba nje ngomkhuhlane ngapha kwethu indawo. Ngathi kusahamba kahle singazi njalo hayi bazama abantu ukuziphatha kahle kodwa khona kunzima ukuthi abantu bathole behlezi bazula bona baphansi phezulu emagrosa babona abantu kuvuliwe yebo bayathenga lapho lalapho kodwa kunzima one abantu babonakalayo ngasukujwayelanga ukuthi wona sibhalile singabantu.
So this gentleman is saying that he's in Espesini in Zimbabwe. So he says, it's very rare for people to spend the whole day sitting at home. So he says you can see people here and there walking and doing all these kind of things. But he says the major thing here is he's no longer employed. So he's used to working for people here and there, so he doesn't have money anymore. So he says this is going to devastate a lot of people. So I think many people are facing the same problem. So we're only remaining with about 3 minutes to go. So Chari, what's the impact of COVID-19 on Zimbabweans living in the diaspora?
Oh, yeah, I can tell you, I know that in the United States, we have heard about 3 Zimbabweans that have died. And I think in UK, we also have some. I don't know about the numbers there, but I know I've heard some messages about that. So even if you look at us, a lot of people are actually being laid off from work, and people are just staying in the houses. So that's why I really want to appreciate people who have been donating to this GoFundMe we have, because people they don't know what the future holds for them right now in the diaspora, right? But they are taking from the minimal savings that they have and giving it to us to say help other people, and that's really a touching thing. It shows some selflessness in our people. So yeah, it's hitting everybody, but let's just remain positive. I am really moved by Zimbabweans back home that are taking hit, because these are people who are living tomato to tomato, but they have taken hit of this lockdown. I just want to encourage them to sit still and just ride this out. Hopefully we will come out, strong.
Jonga, I think we have to remind our viewers and callers and listeners that we're not live right now. This is a pre-recorded show. So uhlelo lolu silurekhodile namhlanje ngoba asenelisi ukuthi siye studio zethu. Sikhuluma nje uJonga ungakibo kodwa umakhelwane wami ngonapha. Lapha ngekhaya ku basement lapha engikhona. Kuzobe uThari la ukhona ngale ngikhaya. So sonke senza konke lokhu sinkhaya. uEzra Sibanda besikhuluma layo isanda ukuvela ezitolo la uhlezi ngikhaya. So ke sesingavala ke uhlelo kwabajonga.
Ndizvozvo tokuyeuchidzai vateereri kuti chirongwa hachisi live, chiri kuitwa yatiri kuti pachirungu pre-record. Tiri kugadzira chirongwa tiri kudzimba. Ini ndiri kumba kwangu, mwangu Gibbs Dube ari kumba, Freeman Chari ari kuOhio kwaanogara, vachari vanogara ikoko. Tatina vaEzra Sibanda kuLondon uko vanga vari kumba kwavo nenyaya yecoronavirus. Tiri kushanda tiri kudzimba. Chirongwa chichazounganidzwa kana kubatanidzwa kumastudio kwedu, mozochiona panguva dzenyu dzemazuva ese dza8 o'clock. As it's in the Gibbs, I would like to say sorry, we are out of time and we have to leave it there. We thank our guests this evening, Mr. Freeman Chari in Ohio and Mr. Ezra Sibanda in London. Thanks also to our listeners who managed to join in via Facebook. Gibbs, I also want to thank you for utilizing your Facebook platform. And my name is UJonga Kandemiiri. Till we meet again tomorrow, good night.
Gibbs Dube saying good night, Zimbabwe. Thank you so much, Chari. Thank you so much, Chisa. Cool. Papa Emas, Baba Mas.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.